Hey traders, John Howell here. I want to teach you guys. I'm just doing some analysis right now across all the markets, the Aussie market, forex, commodities, cryptos, and so on and so forth. And there's a pattern that happens time and time again, and I want to share with you what this means and how you can see what like a end of trend type of pattern looks like, and potentially a reversal, what I call power reversal, and then potentially even start of a new trend. So I want to share this with you on a couple of stocks today. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so let's get straight into today's, what I want to share with you here is this, okay? Now, what tends to happen is that what you're looking at right now is just a stock on the Aussie market, okay? And I'm going to share a stock with you on the US market as well too, because they roughly do the same sort of thing. So I'm looking at the daily charts right now. If I go to my weekly charts, okay? If I go to my weekly charts, again, this is a stock on the Aussie market, but I want to share with you what an end of trend type of pattern looks like, okay? So look at this here. So notice how we actually had a lot of support and resistance through here, right? Support, 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 support through there as well too, right? And all through there. See how we actually had a lot of support and a lot of support, and then see how it actually broke down and went sideways through here, okay? So it broke down strong past the major level of support. Now I'm using this case as an example of using the weekly charts, and then we'll go see what the daily charts look like. So this is, remember this, keep in mind this trend line here is indeed what? A major level of support, right? A major level of support for the weekly charts. So what does that tell you? That tells you if we break it here, we should be continuing what? On the downward trend. So if we go back to our daily charts now, and if I zoom in, look what actually happened here. Daily. Right, and I zoom in, look what actually happened here, right? And this is where you got to be really careful and not to trade just any ordinary breakout. Because we actually had down and across, but look what happened here, right? And this is where, again, I never trade, in the last sort of few videos I've been doing, I've always talked about trade with the trend, trade after a pullback, but you need to see the breakaway bar first, right? I always look for, in this case example, I always look for a bar like this, and then that's when I'm looking to enter, because this bar like this tells me that this overall trend here is likely to then continue, right? But this whole thing here is about end of trend, powerful reversal method, and potentially even the start of a new upward trend. So if we can see that through there, look what actually happened, right? Remember this black line here, this black line right here, remember that's that long-term weekly support level there. But look what actually happened. It came down, went sideways, and it just held below it, right? It didn't continue down, and then bam, broke to the upside. What does that actually mean? That means now that this whole thing here is probably likely to be a false breakout, which is like the end of a trend type of movement. And what tends to happen is that we tend to get, you might have a support level here, right? And you get a support, 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 and sometimes it breaks, does nothing, and then gets going through there. This is called a false breakout, and this sometimes can happen. That's the reason why when I'm trading, I like to trade with the trend, but I always like to trade after a pullback, and then I wait for a bar to give me confirmation on the downside. This one here did what? It broke up and then continued up. Now that's the high. It's just made a higher high. So this is the end of trend, EOT, end of trend movement here. Bam to the upside. Powerful reversal method, down and up. Now this is possibly going to be now a start of a new trend in place, to where we did what? We actually had this high point through here, and we have this higher high through here. So what does that actually mean? Now, if we do come back down to create a higher low and we start to go up, then guess what? We have now gone from an overall downtrend to now picking back up to an uptrend. And if that happens, then we should see this particular stock start to take on some serious price action back to the upside. Make sense? So this is how you start to recognize the end of trend type of indicators, and what happens through there. So let me actually just share something with you here. I want to share another stock, but I'll use one of the stocks on the American market. Again, guys, once you understand how to read the markets, you will You can use these techniques. This is an Australian stock, but if we go have a look at, say, Meta. All right, let's go look at Meta. This is Meta here. So this is Meta. You're looking at Meta right now. Look what actually happened. So if I go back in time and I squeeze my charts up, look at Meta. Now, what did Meta do? Meta did what? See how that there was a lot of major levels of support through there? Let's actually go to the weekly charts now. So weekly charts, right? And notice what? Notice how we had a lot of support and resistance all through there, right? Well, there we go. Cool, right? So we had a lot of what? We had a lot of support and resistance all through that level, possibly even all through there. Make sense? And maybe even down through there somewhere. So if we go back to our daily charts, right? What do we see? We see the two of the same lines there. But look what actually happened here. What actually happened? Now remember, this breaking here was what? A significant level of support all through here. So that was that significant level of support back there. But look what happened with Facebook, right? Facebook did what? Facebook broke down past that. Now, if that was a true breakout, we would rally back up lower and create a lower high, right? We rallied back up, but did we create a lower high and continue down? No. Look what actually happened. We actually rallied back up and then got back above that line. Says what? This is the end of a trend and the start of a new upward movement. And this is how you see when the overall movement's been coming down. This is what's called an end of trend type of pattern. And then when we do see that, it's an end of trend, powerful, like a power reversal pattern. But then also it has the potential of actually starting a new upward leg from there.